Hello horse friends, and welcome back to the Imperfect Question. I thought today, instead of a hack and chat, we'll have a play session and a chat, and I'll do a bit of training on the ground and in the saddle with JJ, and you can join me whilst we have a discussion about what we're doing and also about what's going on around the place at the moment.
I kinda adore you, but don't get too proud. You're like my favorite snack, I won't say it out loud. I won't say you're perfect, we all know you're not, but hey, you're the best kind of way that I got.
So as you can see here, we've got a new play item. It's the curtain, or some people call it a car wash. And we've got rather a large one here. It's about 2.60 meters tall by about 2 meters across, and I'm deciding whether I want to take that down a bit or not at the minute. I believe that in the agility the curtain should be only 2 meters by 1.5 meters, so it's a great deal bigger than that, but I wanted it big enough to be able to ride through. It should be in the cones that you can probably see either side at the moment, but I need a couple more tyres to weigh them down because it just keeps falling over at the moment. JJ, what are you doing? So at the moment we've got it in the bollards at the side, but it leans a little bit with that, and the wind's not ideal today. It actually feels like there's really not much of a breeze at all, but it's going across, and you can see it's not hanging down, instead it's just blowing out. So it's not ideal conditions for learning this toy. She's done a couple of things like this in the past, but this is the very first time she's meeting this obstacle in particular. So as we begin, you can see that she's not particularly bothered standing next to it, and even though the wind's flapping it around, I'm not getting an instantly spooky horse. So I think she's probably not going to react in any way, shape or form at all, but we'll see. I'll probably just start by seeing if she'll lead through, and then we'll see if I can send it through as well. So come on, Gigi. Good girl. Come on. So if I go through first and make sure some of this touches me. So she went through really nicely, but what we did notice is that she took the gap where the wind's blowing it to one side, so she made it so she didn't have to touch it at all. Now this side might be a bit more of a challenge because it's coming towards her, this side. If I could just untangle a couple of pieces, there we are. So that's a little bit more challenging as well. And obviously she may still try and take this gap. There's not a lot I can do about that minute, but we'll see if we can encourage her to make some contact with some of the strands that are dangling down. This is just a tarp that's cut up into pieces, by the way. Come on, JJ, let's have another go. Good girl. She's having a sniff, looking curiously. Doesn't look scared of anything, she's just sniffing. That's good. I'll wait for her to look settled before I ask her forward again. Come on in. Good girl. And she's pushing through a little bit under it. She stopped because I stopped. I'll go through ahead and see if she'll come through. Good girl, that was lovely. Lovely and confident. Well done. Was really very pleased with that. I'd like her to be able to go for a little bit ahead of me, so we'll give it a couple more goes. Comanche's coming up now to have a bit of a nose as well, so if she gets a bit distracted, that's why. Come on, darling. So go for, I'm looking for her to be calm. Ooh, she took the gap a little bit, then pushed into my space a bit, but we'll try it again. Turn around. Gigi. Over. Good girl. Untangle myself. Good girl. Now just patiently, I'll ask her to go forward a bit in front of me. Good girl. Good girl. See if she'll send. Good girl. That was lovely. Well done, JJ. Come over here. Good girl. I think she took that very well. She didn't seem particularly bothered by it, so I'm really pleased with that. Let's move on to try something else. So we've been practicing the gait from the ground because I want to get her to learn the right body manoeuvres for tackling the gate. So initially we come up to the gate and halt. So she'll just stand here. She's not very square, but we'll ignore that for now. If I was riding, I would undo the gate here, and then I might need to ask her to back a little to get her nose around the right area. And then she'd want to bring her front end over and through. And as she comes through, we'll bring her back end over. And then we would need to push the gate back closed sideways again. So you can see she's been figuring all this out. Come on, over, good girl. And I'm quite pleased with how she's been doing with the gate for practicing lately. Of course, we can't really do all that ridden yet. We're slowly getting the manoeuvres with the body, but we can't do it actually manoeuvring the gate. So you'll see us in a bit, try the gate, but with the gate already open, so we can just do the manoeuvres through. Good girl. So there's one more obstacle I want to try on the floor before we get on, and it's going to be these poles. JJ's been practicing a lot more to go sideways. She did know how to do it anyway, but she got a little bit unorganized, let's say, when we started riding it, and she didn't quite associate the going sideways on the ground with going sideways ridden, but she is getting a lot better at that. I've certainly been discovering a little bit about the saying, ask a mare and tell a gelding, because if I get too insistent, say tapping her to go sideways or something like that, she gets quite upset about it, and she'll swish her tail a lot and kind of stomp a bit and might kick a leg out a bit or something, not much, but just like stroppy mare stuff. But if I just kind of hold position and kind of hold where I want it to be, that might put pressure on her. Like she's got her hackamore on when I ride at the moment in this arena, so it might put pressure on, say if she's walking forward and I'm saying no, hold there, but I'm not adding pressure, I'm just kind of continuing the pressure until she finds the right motion, and then when she does, I can release that pressure, and she's been finding that a lot easier to learn with at the moment, and she's getting there quite quickly, I find. We're having to play at home quite a bit at the moment. I should just tell you before we start this, because there's a big outbreak of equine flu at the moment, and in the local area most people aren't going out hacking. We're not too bad if I wanted to out here at the minute, because we don't have any nearby horses. The little Shetlands that were next door have gone back to wherever they live now. I don't know where they're from really, but they've gone back there now, so it's just my two out here, and the nearest horses to us are, I think, just a little over 3 miles away at the next village, which is close enough for it to travel airborne, but we hope that won't happen, and I don't know about any cases in the next village. But other than that, the little lanes we've got just local that we aren't near anybody else's horses, so we're not passing, and my horses, because luckily and currently do not have the equine flu at all. So this is also why we haven't been able to go out hacking in other venues at the moment, like when we go to the woodlands, or we had been thinking about going to the beach. We're not able to do that because it's not safe. A lot of the local shows have been cancelled, and we were supposed to be going to a fun day in just a couple of weekends away. Actually JJ wasn't coming, but it was with the Horse and Ship West Wales ladies, and I was going to be helping them play with some obstacles on the ground there, and Catherine was going to be doing a lesson for them as well. So we've had to cancel that one as well, because the yard that we were going to hold it at, even though all us ladies that were taking horses are actually from a similar situation to myself, where we're not in contact with other horses, the actual yard, there's been some cases local to there, so they want to keep safe and keep everyone off for their own safety, which I totally understand and appreciate. So yeah, we've been using the time wisely, and I've been coming out most evening whilst it's dry, and we've had a lovely sunny day today as well, and practicing a little bit more, and we're slowly getting a little bit better at all the equipment. So I hope you can see some improvements with what we're doing. Let's have a go at this sideways. Okay, Gigi, back. So I need to turn her so that she's a little bit prepared for where we're going to go, and then I'll ask her over. Go on, over. Good girl, over. Good girl. So you can see she does quite well. Go on, over on the ground. Nope. Ooh, I say, and then she gets confused. Never mind. Let's try again. It's okay. It doesn't matter if she gets confused. Over, 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 over. Good girl, over, over. So just stay calm. Ooh, good girl. Eat, eat. So just stay calm and consistent there. I didn't put any particular added pressure on when she took the wrong choice there to go the opposite way, but I wanted to go the opposite way on this pole. This is the thing she's having the most trouble with. To start with the sideways, it was more of a case of she was having trouble to know not to go forwards when I was asking for sideways, so she just kind of drift forwards or wander off altogether. But now she's having a bit more trouble with the fact of which way do I want her to go. She had been doing really well on the ground, so that's the first time she's got confused on the ground, but we'll see. Come on. So I'm just lightly tapping. That's it, good girl. Good girl. She's got to figure her body out to get round this pole without hitting it. There we go. She's a little bit diagonal, but she managed to get over without getting anything on the pole. So she was a little bit offended by me tapping her there, but you know, she didn't do too much then, and she made it, so that's great. We'll probably go mount up now and have got some of these things ridden. See how we do. Don't expect them to be anywhere near as good as they were on the ground. So I've just got on and we're having a little bit of a walk around. I'll just stay in shot for a minute so you can see us. And we're going to try the sideways first. Good girl, JJ. And you can see I'm riding her in her hackamore rather than her bit. And this is allowing me to have a little bit more kind of pressure if I need to without affecting her mouth. So just moving around to get out any tension from getting on. And I'll just line her up in a second with the pole if I can. Here we go. So I'll ask her over, good girl. She's going behind it, but I'm not worried, I'll take the motion. Good girl, eat. And if she does a good job, I tell her to eat and we give her a reward like that, good girl. So ideally, I would have loved her to have had the pole in the middle, but she definitely finds it a bit harder ridden. And as long as I got a really good motion then, which I did, I was really pleased with that, then, you know, I'll take that for now and we can be more picky about where she goes with it later. We had a really nice visit this morning to our neighbour who was having a garage sale today, and I had hoped that maybe he'd got like a chain harrow for the quad or something there in his garage sale, because they were like a farm as well, but they didn't. But we did manage to find 2 new wheels for our wheelbarrow, because both wheels on the 2 wheelbarrows were completely wrecked at the moment. So one's now got a solid rubber wheel, so that should be good for life, and the other one has got a replacement wheel, which should be good for quite a while longer anyway than it has been. But that's one of those 10-minute jobs that me and my husband do that took us about an hour and a half to change the wheels over this morning, due to just them not quite being the right shape, that the same wheelbarrow, you know, we had to make some alterations to make them work. Anyway, she's had a little break now, so let's try this next pole. I might be better off walking around. Oh no, she's going to line up for me. Hold on. And whoop. Over, over, ooh, over. Not as good. And we're going back the wrong way, so just bear with her and keep asking. Good girl. Ooh, eat. I'll bring her back in view because she's walking out of range a little bit. Eat. That's it. So I wanted to have a reward, but I need to stay in shot so you can see us. So that one was a little bit harder for her. First of all, as soon as I picked up the rein, she started going sideways over towards the cups instead. And then I managed to get back this way a little bit. Hopefully I came back in shot okay then. And then we wandered off the other way, which was good. We went the right way, but it was a bit of the wrong angle. So we're going to try both of those again, I think, in a second. Just let her have a little bit of an eat first. Hopefully the weather's been nice where you are as well. We are on the weekend where it's supposed to be a heat wave. I believe where we are in Wales, it's supposed to be hot, but not intolerably hot. However, unfortunately, we are disappearing for the day a bit further South England tomorrow for a family birthday barbecue, and I believe that is in the very hot zone. And they did say it could get up to 38 degrees tomorrow, so not looking forward to the travel with that. But we'll only be gone for a short while, so the ponies will be okay. They've got lots of shelter for the day here and lots of water. And I've just put them onto a new paddock as well, the goat paddock, to get a little bit of fresh hay to keep them happy whilst we're out for the day tomorrow. Come on, JJ, let's give it another go. Right. So like I said, ask with the mare, tell with the gelding. I try not to use the stick for her, but I have it on this side just to help. Going the wrong way. So don't get offended. I don't get offended by her going the wrong way. I just bring her back round and try again. And she doesn't get the reward in between, so I'm hoping that's enough to say. Better, better. Let's sort feet out. She can go behind or in front, I'm not bothered at the minute. Good girl. Good girl, eat. So, with a bit of correction, that was better. Let her have her little reward. You can see there's lots of tractors out today, and that's because the weather's so good. Everybody's hay making and silage making at the moment. And we do get a lot of tractors around here, so they do get quite used to them with the big trailers on. Right, let's try the front one. Hop up. Good girl. I've switched the stick around already. Walk on. Sometimes after we've been doing sideways, she struggles to go forward a bit. I'd really prefer it over the other pole, if I can, just for practice. There we go. We're going to end up behind it again, but that's okay. Okay, over, over, see if she can get it, over. Oh well, so we take the back pole instead, but the motion's correct. There we are, it, good girl. So we're not getting the manoeuvre exactly right at the moment. In an ideal world, I would like to be going one way on one pole and the opposite way on the other pole, and I'd like the pole to be underneath her. We have had some days where we've managed to get the pole underneath her, so I'm a little bit surprised that she's opting to go behind it today, but I'm not offended by that. So at the moment, come on JJ, stay in shot, good girl, good girl. At the moment, I'm quite happy to take how she's dealing with this. I'm going to give it one more go. We gave it one more go. She went the wrong way to start with, but then she went the right way, and I thought I'd go straight into the secondary motion, and I did want to come forward a bit more, but we didn't have that element of control, and at least she did try and put the pole in between her legs this time. So I think that's as good as we're getting for today, and at least she's kind of listening to sideways. She understands it means sideways, just not always which one's left and which one's right. She's still getting to grips with that, and that is one big thing that's not helping us out a bit when we do the gait. So you'll see that surely in a moment. So our first challenge coming into the gait is to halt in the right place if we can. And she starts anticipating sometimes that we're going to go sideways. So just bear with her, try and manoeuvre. Come on, good girl. Good girl. Better. And once she's here, we'll just wait here for a minute and relax. I can have a little play with the gate, see if I can open and close it towards us. And I'm not going to try and work with the gate today, so I'm actually just going to push it all the way open so that we can just work around without interrupting it. I didn't quite get it open very fast, so we'll see how this goes. So to get through, I would want it to come backwards a little, and then go forward and through, then turn around on herself, relax it and go towards, sideways and towards, over, over, over. So I'm going to ignore that gateway for a minute, that's it. And then we would close the gate. So she's getting better, a lot better at understanding it. Eat, good girl. Understanding it whilst we're riding. I'm really pleased with the progress she's made with that. I think we'll go try that again. So again, I'm riding around, and for now I'm approaching it from the easiest direction possible. Good. So again, make the motions like I would be opening the gate. She's relaxing, that's great. We wait a little bit longer here. And obviously, eventually I'm going to have to stay holding down, but that's making it hard for her to understand motion at the minute. So I'm staying upright without the gate so that I can give her the best instructions I can. So, sideways and through. That's it. Turn. I'd like this turn to be a little bit cleaner. That's quite nice. See if I can get this front end over. Lovely, that was really nice. And then if we could just go over towards the gate bit. Oh, we're backing off. We would have dropped the gate by now. Not bad, not terrible. And close the gate. It's not the worst. Good girl. Well done. Eat. Well done. Eat. Shouldn't want to eat now. Okay, but I was quite pleased with that. So because I feel she's doing quite well with this pattern at the minute, I don't want to spend too much time on this section. We're going to move on to something different. And at the moment, that's going to be the car wash, which is what she's got her ears pointed at right now. So this obstacle could go really, really well, or it could go really, really wrong, because she's only just met this particular one today. See how she goes. A little bit rushy through the gap. Back the other way. Let her be curious. Tiny bit rushy, but good. So ideally I want her to be fairly relaxed going through. Think her way through. Good. Good. I wanted to test see if she could stop in there. That's really good. Walk on. Really good. So although that was a really short obstacle then, I think she did well. And the fact that she could stop when I asked her to, underneath with it all touching her, I feel that's good enough for today. Let's move on again to the last obstacle. Well, I'm certainly testing out my fitness tonight. Because I'm only using my phone to film today, I am having to get on and off a lot to go reposition the phone so that you can see the obstacle that we're doing. So really good mountain practice for JJ and really good exercise for me getting on and off. Luckily, she's quite a short horse. Now, we're going to do the barrels, which if you remember, is riding around in a circle both ways. I'll just turn around so you can see us a bit better. Good girl. But you may notice on JJ's neck, that I've got a neck rope on at the moment, and I've started teaching her a little bit to understand the pressure from the neck rope, and we've been using these circles to do that. So what I've been doing is holding my reins just short enough that she can't eat the grass, so that keeps her head up a bit, and then I'm using the neck rein to put pressure left and right. She doesn't understand it very well at the moment, or she overreacts one way or the other, so at the moment I'm having to use the stick to back up. Now bear in mind that when you see me using the stick, you probably will be able to see it at some angles, but I'm not touching her or hitting her face or neck. It's just if that's her head and neck, that the stick's quite close to just guide her over at the same time. So let's give it a go and we'll see how she's been doing with it lately. So I'm just going to guide her round roughly in the right direction. Turn around and start properly. We're kind of set up to go around the left one first. Going back into sideways again. Good girl. So I've got the neck rein and I pull it round to the left, weight, body and everything. And if she doesn't understand, just use a little bit of the stick to the side. Same here, keep it going left. So it's always the neck rein first and the weight to the body and turn of the body, and then the stick just to assist and aid. Good girl. Now we swap, take it the other way. She is going a little bit round this way. Good girl. Good girl. Look where I want to go. Neck rein, stick to back up. Come on. Come on. We seem to have stopped. Don't know if she's going to poop. Yep. We're having an emotional poop. Sorry. Okay, carry on. See if she knows where we're going. Good girl. Use the stick to back her up. Turn, 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 turn. And reward her. So that was really messy, but I'm hoping what you'll see in a minute is it improve a little bit as we go. There's a lot of stick use in that. Okay, so rein's just long enough not to go down. Ask her forward again. Forward. Forward. Might have to get her going the right way first. Hold on. That's it. Go through. This is the problem when you learn new things like sideways. They just think everything is sideways. But this is where we need to differentiate. And she needs to learn that there is a difference between forwards and sideways. Good girl. Release. Now use the neck rein. Nice turn. Good girl. Good girl. Weight, body, weight, and stick a bit. Eat. You don't want to eat now? No? Well, the first part of that turn, almost around to kind of the slalom there, was all done with weight, body and neck rein, which was really good. But I think she gets a bit distracted there, that she wants to head off back to the barn, and that's why her mind focuses more on where she wants to go rather than listening to the command. I think she's starting to understand the command, just not wanting to do it at the moment. So let's try and move forward again now. Give a little bit of start. Neck rein the other way. You're setting off the wrong way to start with, that's fine. Okay, so look up. Now weight, body, neck rein. Oh, not too bad. More, 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 more. That was terrible. That was terrible. But this is what it looks like when you start these things. Ugly. It looks really ugly. I look messy. She looks messy. And we'll get there in the end. Okay. Going to start off a little bit in the right direction. Take it forward. Neck crane. Use the stick to back it up. Sit up. Weight. Body. Neck crane. Stick, 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 stick. Oops. Bash, 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 bash. We nearly hit the slalom. Well, good morning, horse friends. It's the next day, and unfortunately, as you saw, the video ran out before we reached the end. So I didn't quite get to finish doing the circles. They didn't really get much better, so perhaps we'll visit them another day. As you can see, JJ is up here. Comanche's down in the paddock still. I don't know why they're separate at the minute, but I think she's about to head back down to him. We're just walking the dogs before we go off to the family barbecue. And I hope you've enjoyed the video nonetheless. And I'll see you again next time. Don't forget to like, share, and perhaps give us some comments to let us know how you're doing in the comments below. Okay, see you later. Bye.